Here again with another franchise ranking video as we have a new Transformers movie, so that means it's time for me to rank all the movies of the Transformers franchise from the 1986 cartoon movie to the newest installment, Rise of the Beast. But before I do that, I have to cover a few things. If you aren't caught up to the point where I am and rewatching or watching all the Transformers movies, and that means the most recent one, then I highly suggest that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers, because I can't do a ranking video without talking about the movie. So I will be giving spoilers for Rise of the Beast. So just so you know, I don't know how much I'll talk about, but I will talk about, and I'll probably ramble. And this is going to be my opinion. We are going to disagree most likely. There is one movie especially in this franchise that I actually really like. I'm not exactly sure why I like it so much, but everybody else tends to put it really low in their ranking. So just be warned that we are probably going to disagree, and make sure that you leave your ranking down in the comment section so I can see where you're at and we can discuss the franchise, which for the most part has some good films and they have some duds, which unfortunately every franchise has a dud except for Scream. So let's definitely talk about this. And upon another viewing, especially the most recent viewing or the most recent movie, my opinion could change. So I've seen Rise of the Beast one time. My next time seeing it, my opinion could slightly go down a bit. So keep that in mind, but let's get started. My ranking of all 8 Transformers movies. And coming in 8th place, unfortunately, is going to be Transformers Age of Extinction. Now, this movie on paper should be really good because you replace Shia LaBeouf with Mark Wahlberg. I think Mark Wahlberg probably could be a bigger action star than Shia, but no, he's okay. He's not the problem in this movie. It's you take all the characters that we've liked from the previous 3 Michael Bay movies, and there's none of them in this movie, aside from voice actors like Peter Cullen. Autobots, roll out. You have him and a couple other voice actors, but you take all our live people, and they aren't in the movie, which really takes away from the movie. You have Cade Yeager and his daughter Tessa. They're okay, and yes, she has a boyfriend, and yes, she is underage, and he doesn't seem to care. I think that's a big problem, but I'm not going to complain about that as much as other people do. I just don't think this movie is very memorable. Without characters that I've seen in the previous 3 movies, the Michael Bay movies, obviously, not the cartoon movie from 1986. I thought about before I started recording this video, what even happened in Transformers Age of Extinction? And I should warn you all, I watched all these movies recently within the past 3 weeks. Except for the 1986 cartoon movie. I watched that, I think, at the end of last year, and I didn't want to rewatch it. So all these movies are very fresh in my head, but I already forgot what happened in Age of Extinction, but I remembered after a while. But it's just not very, very memorable. You have a good performance by Stanley Tucci as Joshua, what's his name? I don't remember the character's name. Joshua Joyce. He's good. He starts out kind of bad, but ends up good. You have Kelsey Grammer as this head bad guy. He's alright, but just the movie, taking all our characters away that we really liked, take away from it. You have the statutory stuff with the boyfriend Shane, which is bad. All the people that you really liked from the previous movies aren't in it, and it's not very memorable. And I think the biggest complaint, which I almost forgot to talk about, is the fact that they tease the Dinobots early in the movie, and then we don't see them until the last, 15 minutes. And it has a lot of the same repetitive action sequences that start to bore me. And then when the Dinobots get introduced, they really don't have any personality. I want to hear a, me, Grimlock, that's what I'm used to from the cartoon. So, unfortunately, and most people have this as their least favorite, Transformers Age of Extinction is my number 8. Number 7 is going to be Transformers The Last Knight. This movie is a lot more memorable than the previous entry, and I think this movie has more heart to it. It has a better story to it, and I enjoy it. I don't think this one is really bad at all. I would watch this movie again, although it has some repetitive action sequences that kind of annoy me. But I do like the story. You don't really get a lot of Optimus Prime in this movie. Like, he's a bad guy at a point in this movie. Somehow this person that invented the Transformers or Cybertron somehow convinced Optimus Prime to go after the humans, and then he changes his mind once he has a confrontation later in the movie with Mark Wahlberg's character, or Cade Yeager. So that's that. You have a good performance by Anthony Hopkins. He can't do no wrong. I was trying to say there. Bear with me here. I'm going to look up something real quick. I don't want to forget to talk about anything here. So, I think his butler, the robot butler, was that Coughlin. I thought he was really funny. I think that's what his name is. And I know you'll correct me if I'm wrong. So, yeah, I can't see the screen really good right now. I have terrible vision and I have everything minimized, and it's really hard to see what I want to look for. But whatever, you know what I'm talking about. I thought Coughlin was really funny. I think Mark Wahlberg's performance is still good in this movie, but then his daughter is no longer there. But he eventually has this new love interest that is like the last descent of the Witwicky family, and they tell us that Sam, Shia LaBeouf's character, has died somewhere in the whole timeline. So they do bring back some people from previous movies, which makes the movie a lot better. You have Captain Lennox back in this. You have the voice, the robot. Is it Wheelie? Transformer, not robot. Was it Wheelie or Wheels or something like that? I don't remember the names of the minor. I thought that Transformer adds a lot of comedic tone to the movies that Transformer is in. So I really like the fact that he was back in this particular movie. And then, of course, we get the return of Agent Simmons, played by John Turturro from the first three Transformers movies. So that made it better, in my opinion. In the story of the whole getting Merlin's sword thing, I think that was a lot better than the clusterfuck that was Age of Extinction. It's just my opinion, so that's why I put The Last Night at number 7. Number 6 for me, and I have to admit, I contemplated putting this in last place. It's Transformers 1986, the cartoon movie. This movie has a lot of nostalgia for me, but rewatching it at the end of last year, I don't remember when it was either November or December, I thought it was really, really boring. And the fact that they kill Optimus Prime early on in the movie is just depressing and haunting. I remember seeing that in the theater, and at the time, I was, He-Man, Transformers guy, and Optimus Prime and He-Man are my go-to superheroes, even though they're not superheroes. And then you kill Optimus Prime, and you don't bring him back in the movie. He is dead, unfortunately. So it was a bit terrifying, although it didn't really faze me that much in the movie theater, because stuff like that doesn't bother me. But the fact that they killed Optimus off and that was it for him, that was bad for the movie. And just the movie's really slow and obviously doesn't age that well. But there's just something about it. The story, when it eventually gets the fact that you have Rodimus Prime, and then that song, "You've got the touch, you've got the power." I love that. There's other weird songs in the movie that I'm kind of iffy on, but that's really good. I don't really remember a lot of bullet points about the movie, and I don't have any notes in front of me. I even closed the web browser that I had up. It's okay. I thought about putting it in 8th place, but it's better than Age of Extinction because of Rodimus Prime, the song "The Touch," and the balls it had to kill off Optimus Prime. Man, they killed off Megatron, but he turned into Galvatron, and yeah. So, that's my opinion on that. That's why that's number 6. Number 5 is going to be Transformers Dark of the Moon. Obviously, the big issue with this movie is you take away Michaela's character and you put in, I think her name was Carly's character, the Victoria's Secret model. I know why they did it, because Megan Fox called Michael Bay Hitler or something to that degree. But first of all, Sam Witwicky, he's not that much of a stud where he can pull in Michaela and then this supermodel chick. Come on now, it's not believable. And I thought I'd really hate this movie rewatching it, because honestly, I think I've only watched that movie now 3 times. And it had been a while, and that's always the one that I grit my teeth about. Like, I hate that movie. But actually, it's better than Age of Extinction. And while The Last Night is probably has moments that are better, I think this one's a better movie. And Dark of the Moon is actually dark. Even though the whole Dark of the Moon thing contradicts what happens in Transformers and Revenge of the Fallen, it's okay. You have some good villains, like you have Patrick Dempsey's character. Don't ask me what his name is, because I don't remember, even though I just watched it, Sunday? So I'm recording this video on Thursday night. I believe I watched it Sunday, or it was Saturday. One of the two. He was really good, and he has to die in the movie because, well, he's too bad. Sam Witwicky, he's a weird lead, but it works for him. And the thing that really annoys me about this movie, and I'm sorry, I'm probably going out of order on stuff here. That's what I do. I just ramble. I put words and sentences together, and then eventually I get sick and tired of talking about the same thing, and I move on. But the part where Megatron's sitting up against the building, and then you have Carly. I hope I'm saying her name right. Carly, it's the Rosie, whatever. She's Chris Hemsworth White. Wait, no, that's not Chris Hemsworth White. No, it's I don't even remember. But anyway, she you're letting Sentinel Prime take all the glory. You're just sitting here. You're not going to get anything. And then Megatron's like, wait a minute. It's like, really? She just punked out a robot? Like, it took her to tell him that? Like, are you kidding me? The whole twist was Sentinel Prime turning on Optimus Prime and him being the bad. But Optimus couldn't take care of him unless he had the help of Megatron. So that was interesting. You get the characters that we've liked in this movie. You get Epps, you get Lennox, you get Agent Simmons from Sector 7, but Sector 7's not really around. You get the whole relationship with the lady at the bureau and Simmons. It's good. I like it a lot more than I used to like it, but there's some glaring flaws, and I'm probably not even giving me talking about the movie any justice, because now I'm got too many movies in my head and I don't know what to say for each one. But that's why Transformers Dark of the Moon comes in 5th place for me. Alright, we've reached my number 4, and you might cancel me for this one, because I do know a lot of people that put this movie number 1 in their Transformers ranking, and that's completely fine. I am putting Bumblebee as my number 4. It's a good movie. From here on out, I think these movies are really good. So you probably already know which movie I really like that most people hate, because I haven't talked about it yet. Well, I mentioned it quickly. Bumblebee, to me, is very plain. It's more of a movie for a child, in my opinion, but it's not bad. I like how they do Soundwave, who is my favorite Decepticon in that movie. But of course, we don't get much of Soundwave. It's a big improvement from Dark of the Moon, where he's like this satellite, but doesn't look like he looks in the cartoon. I know it's hard to necessarily duplicate that stuff, but they could have at least made him look a little bit like himself. But Bumblebee, you don't get a lot. You really only get Bumblebee, and then these 2 characters that I don't even remember the names of, robot characters, that is. So I don't remember the. Was it Haley? The new spider person now is the main character, the teenager, and that's where Bumblebee spends his early years with her. And then, of course, we go into Rise of the Beast, which I haven't talked about yet. Well, I have talked about it, but I haven't ranked it yet. It just, to me, Bumblebee's not very memorable. You do have a good performance by John Cena. Can't see me. But again, it's one of those things where the movie to me seems more geared towards a child, even though it's not a cartoon. And I really don't know what else to talk about the movie, because you don't have any people in it from the original Michael Bay movies, other than, of course, Peter Cullen, who is in all these movies. Not much for the 1986 movie, but he's the voice in all of them. So that's why Bumblebee, at least at the moment, is my number 4. Coming in at number 3, you're going to be surprised by this one, I'm putting Transformers Rise of the Beasts as my number 3. I went into this movie with little to no expectations. After watching all these movies, the original ones, they were okay, but trying to get through the later ones, the Age of Extinction and The Last Night, it actually started with Bumblebee. Just to let you know, I started with Bumblebee, then went to the 2007 Revenge of the Fallen, Dark of the Moon, Age of Extinction, and The Last Night. And it actually overexceeded my expectations. Now, we have some of the same problems where we don't have any characters from the original Michael Bay movies, but these are prequels, essentially. I think they're prequel reboots, in my opinion. But you get a character in Noah who they actually spend time with in the beginning of the movie to develop him a little bit. And they don't just spend 5 minutes on him, which some people want them to only spend 5 minutes or 10 minutes, like Sean Chandler. No offense to Sean Chandler. Some people like that. I actually got to like him a little bit more because of what he did. And then he's trying to be there for his brother. He's trying to get a job, and they say he's not a team player. And eventually he meets Mirage, the Transformer, and he wants them to help the Autobots. And all this time he's thinking of trying to help his family, who his mom is played by the great Lauren Velez from Dexter, LaGuerta. I think I said her name wrong, but hey, I've already been talking for a long time, so I'm going to do that a few times here. And then you have him eventually with the character of Elena. They get this thing that these beings are looking for, and I'm totally screwing up like different names and all that. The Unicron and his henchman, Unicron was voiced by Colin Domingo of Fear the Walking Dead, who is amazing. He just has a great voice, and he's a great character when you can see him. So they help the Autobots, and then they do something. I'm kind of jumping all over the place here. You have them essentially killing Bumblebee in this movie. Now, they led me to believe, okay, this character of Noah, since he's a Mr. Fix-It type guy, he's going to end up being the one that puts Bumblebee back together, which he wasn't really a part, but he was going to be the one that made him alive again. But that's not what happened. It's when Unicron was coming to Earth and all the things that it was dropping, that enabled Bumblebee to be alive again and kind of help in the end here with what was happening. I just really liked Noah's character, and I liked the relationship he has with the Transformer, voiced by Pete Davidson, although I don't know what to really think about him personally. You have Optimus Prime really kind of skeptical of humans in this movie, and this is the movie that makes him like, humans are capable of many things. They can do good. We have to like humans. And like in the first Transformers movie, the 2007 one, where, Ironhide's like, can I just get rid of the... No, we do not harm humans. I don't know why I'm trying to talk like Peter Cullen, but I really like this movie. The only part that I really am like annoyed with, and I'll jump back to where I was going, the end, I don't understand, spoiler alert, the whole... Noah gets a job and he's going to be working for G.I. Joe. I know they're both Hasbro products, Transformers and G.I. Joe, but I don't remember G.I. Joe being a part of Transformers when I was a kid. I might have just forgot about it. So if that's what happens, early days in the 1980s, I just forgot about it. But I love the ending, battle. It was really entertaining. They didn't spend too much time on the same thing because these repetitive action sequences kind of get on my nerves. And this one didn't. I was really engaged in the movie and really enjoyed what they were doing. And maybe my expectations were too low, and I gave this movie a 4 out of 5. It won't go higher, I guarantee you that. It could go down to like a 3.5, 3.75 out of 5 on my next viewing of the movie. But from first watch, I enjoyed it. And of course, the final scene, getting back to that, or not final scene, but final battle with Noah's character taking the parts of the Transformer, saving the day. Optimus Prime is going to sacrifice himself, and he rescues Optimus Prime against I can't remember the henchman's name for Unicron. Oh well, it's not that important. But I thought it was cool. I thought it was a bit different, and to me, it worked. Now, you don't get any characters from the previous movies other than Peter Cullen's voice, but I still like the movie. And that's why, at least at the moment, I'm putting that in third place. All right. I warned you guys there was a movie that I really like that nobody else tends to like. And that is my number 2, Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen. I don't know what it is about this movie, but I enjoy it. Maybe I have some nostalgia for it because it's one of the first live-action movies I watched. Obviously, I watched the 2007 one first, and then that one. But I really like the character of Sam and Michaela. They were the Transformers movies to me. Maybe I just have an obsession with Megan Fox, which I like Megan Fox, but maybe I like her more than I thought I liked her. And I think she's good. It's unfortunate that she had a falling out. I thought she was going to come back in maybe Age of Extinction or The Last Night because her and Michael Bay patched up things, but it never came to fruition. I wish it would have been like some kind of end credit scene or mid credit scene where Michaela, maybe she starts dating Mark Wahlberg. Well, I don't know if that would work, but something like that. But I don't know. I think obviously you have one of my favorite Transformers in this. You have Wheelie, or the one, he says funny stuff, and he's Decepticon, but then he likes Michaela's character and starts humping her leg and goes to her. You have the plot of the Fallen, who's was one of the Primes, and then turned his back, if you call it a he, it's a robot, on the Primes, and is waiting to come to Earth when this event happens. And it's weird. It's hard to explain that. I just really like this movie, and I don't really know why. I had some doubt with Sam Witwicky's character that he was going to make it out of this movie alive because, he did so much in the original Transformers movie, which I haven't talked about yet. You probably know that's my favorite because I haven't talked about it yet, and we're at number 2 right now. And the whole end battle scene, you have Devastator, you have a really good Agent Simmons in this movie. Agent Simmons is awesome in this movie, and he and Sam's roommate from college are trying to defeat Devastator, and Devastator's fucking awesome. I liked that a lot. Megatron was Megatron in this movie. I thought it was believable how everybody came back. Megatron was dead at the end of Transformers, and he's back in this one. I thought it was. I've seen worse things tied together, and this worked for me. So I guess I'm really not giving any good reasons why I like it. I just like it. I don't. Maybe it's a Megan Fox thing, and that very well could be. But as it stands right now, Revenge of the Fallen, surprisingly, is my number 2. Which my number 1 is Transformers from 2007. I was really hyped about this movie, being a fan of the cartoon series and watching the Transformers movie, and I was really looking forward to it. I saw it in the theater, I think, 4 times, and really liked it. You don't get a lot of the Transformers. Well, you do in the third act, but it seems like they're different. They spent less time focusing on them, and you can see them better in the later installments. And I just really liked it. The whole start of the relationship between Sam and Michaela, with her and her douchebag boyfriend Trent from the 2009 remake of Friday the 13th. I can't remember his name. He was in season 3 of You. How can I forget his name? I almost met him at a convention, but I didn't go at the last second. But it's great with Michaela showing some interest in Sam because he's got a car and he can drive her home, and then the car playing Baby Come Back and Who's Gonna Drive You Home Tonight. You have the great Bernie Mac in this movie, rest in peace, trying to sell Sam a car. You have the parents. The parents are very irritating. Ironhide, we do not harm humans. Second time I've said that. I think I didn't mess it up this time, though. So they're funny. They add comments. Sam, were you masturbating? Hi, I'm Michaela. Oh, that from the dad, this is a keeper. So that's all good. And I feel like Agent Simmons is really annoying in this movie until the third act, the later of the third act. Then he gets better. You have the John Voight playing Defense Secretary Keller. He's good. You have Maggie played by Rachel Taylor, which I'm mad that she didn't come back because I thought you needed her to be the computer whiz and all that to figure shit out. But I guess they used Simmons for that, but he didn't have computers. He just had articles and stuff. Her advisor, Glenn, played by Anthony Anderson. Look at how I'm memorizing everything from that movie now. It's weird to see him without a beard. I know he's probably done roles before without a beard, but they were roles a long time ago, and it's weird to like watch that movie and see him without a beard in Transformers 2007. Who else is in the movie that I'm forgetting about? You have the military people or the army people or Navy, whatever the hell. They're not Navy. They're, Epps and Lennox. And the part where he's talking on the phone to the guy and he's like, I need a credit card. Back pocket, left cheek, left cheek, left cheek. That's pretty fun. Didn't really like how the Decepticons were portrayed in this. Like, they didn't really focus a lot of them. They made them kind of irrelevant in the movie. You had the Scorpion one out in the desert that probably did the most stuff. Megatron was pretty much a non-factor until the third act of this movie. It's a little far-fetched in the final battle with Sam trying to risk his life to save the Autobots, and he does risk his life, and they do win the battle. And Sam, you are in my debt, and all that. Just a fun movie. I enjoy it quite a bit, and I guess I haven't even mentioned the Linkin Park song. What I've done is awesome, and then of course the one in Transformers 2 or Revenge of the Fallen, which is New Divine, and then they had a Chester Bennington one in the third one, which I don't remember what it is, but those are just such good songs, so catchy. What I've done, it's just, now I'm gonna start humming the song. It's very memorable. So, like I said, I'd say from 4 on out, they're pretty good movies. Dark of the Moon is okay at best. The 86 cartoon movies, it's probably forgettable the most now, but it's got some nostalgia, even though I'm upset about what happened to Optimus Prime, where he's just kind of pushed to the side and killed right away. And then, of course, you got the later Michael Bay installments, which Last Night, honestly, is a lot better than... It's ranked low because it's just too much. It's too much to try to wrap together, and it doesn't make sense. But I did like it, and then Age of Extinction that's the terrible one of it. So you've heard what I have to say about this franchise, and I know I've been rambling and trying to figure out what I'm going to say through the whole thing, but make sure that you leave your ranking of the Transformers franchise in the comments section. If you got through this video and you actually like it, please Hulk smash that like button to help me out with the YouTube algorithm. Share the video with anybody you know. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. And then last but certainly not least, leave me a comment with a franchise that you want me to rank. If I haven't done it already, I will definitely put it as a priority, assuming I'm somewhat familiar with the franchise. But don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. Autobots, roll out, and JDev will return.